Happy Sunday, everybody. This is Matt Chappell, and I'm bringing you episode number 4 of the Mid-Atlantic Region YouTube channel. I'm coming to you live here this week from the Chappell family gym, and this is the place where pythons are supposed to be built, and I stress supposed to be built, not built so fast, but we're getting after that. So more on that in just a minute. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the visit I had last week to Anderson, South Carolina. Dennis Jones and I got in the car, went down to see Ernesto Pagan, who's the market manager, and his new RISM, Maria Santana. And I'm going to spotlight Maria here for just a minute. And the number one thing I took away after spending some time with Maria, and I didn't know her before, is how deeply she loves our company. And I want to unpack that a bit for a minute here. Maria was, prior to coming to our team as a RISM and getting promoted, she was a retail training store manager in Charlotte, where she'd been doing that for the past few years. But she came to Charlotte from Puerto Rico, where she worked for T-Mobile in Puerto Rico, and she served our customers during that devastating hurricane 5 years ago, 6 years ago. And let me tell you a little bit about what I learned about Maria. Number one, she lived without electricity during many, many, many months. For most of us, living without electricity for even a day or two would be unimaginable. She did it for months, while still coming to work, not complaining, serving our customers. And she talked to me a little bit about that. And she talked about what our company did for her and her counterparts during that time to be able to continue to serve customers, but also to be able to have some semblance of food and just life, and just unimaginable. But I watched in her eyes, I heard it in her voice, I could see it in her heart, how much she loved our company. And that fuels her every day and makes her really, really special as an employee. And it really reminded me of just the heart of our own company, and how our company is there when people need us. And she just has so much respect for the company, and she'll run through a wall for it, and she's doing that. And it is her number one success point is just her heart, her grit, her drive, and how much she cares about the people that are here and what she's doing. So Maria, I was super impressed. I'm an instant fan. Thank you for what you're doing. And thank you for the mangoes. The mangoes were special. And there was also some kind of a coconut mix she gave us that Dennis is probably still eating. So fantastic. Thank you. Enjoyed the trip. So why am I sitting here in the Chappell family gym? Mitchell gets more use out of it than I do. But I want to tell you why. So yesterday, Mitchell's home from college. He came down the stairs, as many kids, 19 years old or young adults, they're kind of going through their Instagram feed all the time, and they see something they want to show you right away. And he ran down and said, "Dad, I want you to look at this video." It was a video by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. And it was, I want to kind of, put you inside of this a little bit. You can, if you follow me on Twitter, go to my Sunday or Saturday feed, you'll see the video. It's 82 seconds long. I would definitely watch it. But it reminded me of a time I worked for a gentleman named Kevin Gleason for many, many years. And he used to talk about the fact that championships are built when no one is looking. And that stuck with me for 15 years. Championships are built when nobody's looking. Well, that's really the essence of what The Rock is getting at in this video. In the video, you'll see him walk into an empty gym. Just him, a bunch of equipment, and no one else. And he talks about these small, quiet promises that you make to yourself that no one else knows, that also no one else will know when you break those promises. He talked about those. And, I won't give away the whole video, but watch that. We all make goals, right? But do we stick with the goals that we plan for ourselves? Do we tell people about it? Do we hold ourselves accountable to those goals? Or do we let ourselves off the hook? Much like this gym maybe doesn't get used as much as it needs to. I'm a firm believer that human beings are much more likely to hold themselves accountable when you make a public declaration about those goals. So I got an action for you here this week for those that want to do this. Take one of those private goals you've had, personal, professional, something you think about that you've been telling yourself you're going to do, and maybe you're not doing that great at it, and go public with it. Tell somebody else. Tell your boss about it. Tell your spouse. Tell some friends. Tell somebody that can be an accountability partner for you that will hold you responsible for doing that. Because you're going to lose faith sometimes. You're going to lose desire sometimes. But when somebody else is in on that goal that you have and you've made it public, you're much more likely to stick with it. So give that a shot. I think amazing things can happen when you do that. And thanks, Rock, for the inspiration. I always like to take a minute on these calls and thank some of the people that are just having the great months for us here. In the month of May, I want to recognize a few people that are leading the way on our Uncarrier Power Anchor. I want to recognize our top 5 stores to start. Number 1, Coastal Grand, Brian Camara, Kenny Anderson leading the way. Number 2, Skybo Road out in Fayetteville by Brandy and Jamie. Independence Mall in Wilmington, adding Mullinger, awesome job. Seaford, Delaware, again, they're ranked 4th, Julio and G. And number 5, our Charlottesville store that's making a splash with Jacob and Noah. They're doing great things. Can't wait to see you this week out in your store. I also want to recognize some of our market managers, top 2 market managers this month, Matt Robinson in Fredericksburg. And then number 2 is Sam Canestra in Harrisburg. Matt Robinson's number 1 in the nation. There's 180 people that do this job nationally, folks. He's number 1. Awesome job. And then our RISMs. We got Matt Triskopoulos out of Fredericksburg. He's number 3 in the nation and number 1 in the Mid-Atlantic. And then we got Amy Woldridge in Goldsboro. She's number 2 in the Mid-Atlantic and 10th nationally. So they're both having just killer months and doing really, really well. So that's awesome, and thank you. So this week, where am I going? Like I said earlier, I'm heading to Charlottesville, Lynchburg. We're doing some Harrisonburg. I can't wait to get out there and see the teams. Those are super important markets for us, and I love the leadership team out there. So I'm heading there. Maybe I'll take some video while I'm there and share it with the group. So as I wrap this up, you know, Memorial Day weekend is coming up, and you know, I want to make sure everybody takes the time to remember what Memorial Day is really all about, and what it is. And Memorial Day is about the people that have lost their lives serving our country. And there's so many that have served our country and serve our country today, and there's some that have given the ultimate sacrifice that allows us to have the way of life that we do here in the United States, best country in the world. And so, you know, props to those that have served and are still serving, and to the families that have lost folks. So let's all take some time this weekend to remember what that's about and pay homage to those individuals. So hope you're enjoying these videos and can't wait to see you next week. Take care.